So before I usually listen to an album with the intent on reviewing it, I try to refrain from looking at comments on social media so I'm not inadvertently swayed by others' opinions. But in the case of this Busta album, I did glance at some tweets before I decided to press play. And you know what? All the criticisms that you see online are correct. This Busta album is not good. Now, I gotta say, Busta, he is a certified hip hop legend and a larger than life rap giant. He is gonna be an artist that is in some people's top 5 or top 10 lists of all time. In 2020, he dropped Extinction Level Event 2, which was well received and regarded as a strong return album for Busta Rhymes. But just last year, he had released the Fuse's Lit EP, and that didn't elicit the same type of praise. Yeah, the Fuse's Lit was trash and easily one of the weakest EPs of 2022. So I had hoped that this Blockbusta album would have been better, but after I quickly glanced at the track list and saw the list of the features, I had highly doubted that would be the case. The features rarely lie, y'all. But getting right into Blockbusta, it contains 19 songs lasting approximately an hour and 2 minutes. This contains some production from the likes of Timbaland, Hitmaker, Cool and Dre, Swizz, Pharrell, Busta himself, Weezy Out of Here, DJ Ted Smooth, Mike and Keys, DJ Khalil, Cardiac, and Focus. But with that being said, track by track breakdown time. The opener, the statement, produced by Timbaland, has this icy trap beat that isn't bad. Busta is a little more bar heavy here than he is throughout the album, so this ended up being one of the better songs, but I'd be lying to y'all if I said this was a great track. It was more just serviceable. Track 2, Remind Them, featuring Quavo, does feel like your standard Quavo type of track. It's not terrible, but it does feel more like a song that you would get on a Khaled compilation. Track 3, Beach Ball with Beia. It's not much better, but this has a modern day crunk beat that I feel like we've all heard dozens of times. Yeah, Beia, she's not a bad new rapper, but I have no desire to play this song again. The following song, Okay, with Young Thug, has a decent Atlanta trap beat. I can't hate on the production, but it does feel more like a Young Thug song featuring Busta. The next track, Could It Be, contains the same sample used by Miguel and J. Cole. Now, instrumentally, it's okay, kind of easy listening and non-offensive to the ears, but nothing I'd care to revisit. Track 6, Luxury Life with Coi Leray, finds Busta trying to recapture the magic that Jay and Foxy had back in 96, but this version, it doesn't quite hit the same. While that 96 track felt more organic, this one just feels forced, and the beat, unfortunately, it can't even save them. Yeah, no one asked for this song whatsoever. After this is Big Everything with DaBaby and T-Pain. So I personally found this song to be incredibly frustrating because another good sample was wasted. Here they use Bun B's Get Throwed, but it's a diet watered down version. Now, in fairness, if you never heard the original, then you might say this version is not bad, but this just feels like a random use of a great sample with no real purpose, and it just reeks of DJ Khaled once again. Track 8 is Robo Shata with Burna Boy. So Busta is doing his Afro beats thing here, which some might like, but I do find this song to be a bit gimmicky, and it's just not my cup of tea. The same could be said for the following song, Tings, produced by Pharrell. So I suppose instrumentally, this could be a vibe, but realistically, I can't think of a situation in which I'd ever want to play it. Track 10, The Return of Mansa Musa. It's a mess sonically. I suppose they thought they were doing something big with that Michael Jackson sample, but this one was a headache to get through. Track 11 is Stand Up, and it's all over the place sonically as well. For some reason, Busta decided to put a drill spin on top of Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise sample. Track 12, Open Wide with Chris Brown. It is so mid that it's like one step away from being Planet Fitness music. The subsequent song Hold Up, produced by Timbaland, is a decent banger in fairness. Now you can tell they were trying to rekindle their old magic with the woodwinds. And if I'm being kind, I could say it's alright. Afterwards is The Hive with Gigs. Now Gigs sounds terrible here. And it's an ultimate filler track. Nothing else to note. Surprisingly, track 15, Homage with Kodak, is the best song on here. The wavy trap beat was solid and Kodak's verse was dope enough. Now, is this playlist worthy? Not quite certain, but all things considered, it's good. Track 16 is Legend with Moray, and it's fairly tame and easy on the ears, but altogether pretty mid. Track 17 though, Slide, produced by DJ Ted Smooth, it isn't half bad. The mystical sample is high energy, so overall, it's a decent Busta Club record. Second to last song is Legacy, and it has a breezy West Coast instrumental from Mike and Keys and DJ Khalil. Instrumentally, it's a pleasant enough vibe, I suppose, but it's still watered down. And this album wraps up with If You Don't Know, You Know, featuring Big Tigga. I suppose the interview format of the track wasn't awful, but the beat was serviceable, and I was just so glad that the album was done. So overall, I'm gonna give this project a rating of 1.5 to 2 mics. Here's the thing, Busta can still rap. His flow was intact. You know, vocally he sounds like the same old Busta, but this was not the type of music that we wanted to hear from this OG in 2023. From the mindless sampling of big name records with no real purpose to the cookie cutter commercial beats geared for the TikTok listeners, and just the run-of-the-mill, uninteresting features. Like, I'm really puzzled as to how Busta could have come off tour with Nas and Wu-Tang and been in the headspace to put out a product of this nature. It's baffling. Y'all see what Nas was inspired to do after touring with the Wu, and Busta, you put out this? And I'm sure there's someone who would say, well, you just wanted him to do strictly boom bap. No, that's not the case at all. Busta has always been able to, go into different bags and experiment with different sounds outside of boom bap. It's just that fans would have preferred that he actually make a good album in general, like one with a variety of styles where he was still remaining true to his sound. But on Blockbusta, it became apparent that Busta was hell-bent on making an album that would appeal to younger folks at all costs. And sadly, I don't even think the younger audiences will be tapping into this project anyway. I think it's fine for an older artist to want to dabble into sounds that are more modern to some extent, but it's got to be done well, and it was done in a really tasteless and tacky way on this album. My favorite tracks include maybe The Statement, I would say Homage, and maybe Slide. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I am signing out. As always, it's peace and blessings. Busta Rhymes, Blockbusta 1.